Right, this is me genuinely trying to understand something, so help me out here. Right, I did not get the early access pack thing for Remnant 2 simply just because money. And obviously a lot of people did, a lot of content creators did, and the moment they had this game, they discovered a few things and they've run with it. And of course, in true YouTube fashion, everything they find is the new meta, the most OP thing ever, best in slot, here we go again, problem. Within 24 hours of me getting the game, assumingly like a week after all these people, I posted this video. And I went over just how powerful Spore Bloom really is, and it really does beat out a lot of what a lot of other content creators are actually stating just by itself. Like literally you don't even need rings and Spore Bloom will beat half of the weapons in the game. Then in this video I expanded on this and basically stated that the best weapons, like regardless of build, the best weapons are going to be shotguns and single shot weapons. Everyone throughout both of these videos, well not everyone, a lot of people throughout both of these videos felt the need to tell me that I'm full of shit and have no idea what I'm talking about. Roll forward to the present 2 weeks later and everyone is now telling me that Crescent Moon is the best weapon in the game. A single shot weapon. Now I'd like to say that I could see the future, but the truth is I just do really basic fucking math. Now throughout all of this, a lot of people were telling me that Nightfall was the highest DPS in the game. Now I said, this is actually impossible considering Plasma Cutter just at base actually fucking beats it. So here you can see the full DPS testing that I have done. I have actually reverted Nightfall to pre-nerf. And as you can see here, Plasma Cutter still beats it. So it's not like Plasma Cutter beating Nightfall is a new thing, it's always been able to do this. Always. Then I've got people arguing me saying that I'm just purposely going against the meta because single shot weapons are my favourite weapons. No, I'm going against the meta because it's bloody wrong. At which point people then start exercising their right to utilise their room temperature IQ to say that I'm wrong because on their build they're able to hit harder. Okay then, we have Nightfall versus Plasma Cutter. They're both going to be using Daredevil, Probability, Vestige, Xanias and Momentum. Nightfall's going to be using Faerun Sigil, Plasma Cutter is going to be using Micro Compressor. That is what this is in terms of the spreadsheet. This is the full build with them in terms of a spreadsheet. The reasons rings 2, 3 and 4 are empty is 2 is Cord, which goes to critical hit damage, which is why it's at 1.1. 3 is Xanias, which is why Nightfall gets a 1.5 weak point. And Plasma Cutter gets 1.2, and then the fourth ring is either going to be Sigil or Micro Compressor. These are not damage rings. This is their DPS. Nightfall gets an average of about 3,000 DPS. Plasma Cutter gets an average of about 3.4 thousand DPS. Yeah. And still, this is pre-Nightfall nerf. Rounds per second of 6.75, which is the 5% rounds per second with the 35% increase. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you other than some people are talking some absolute bollocks and they're blaming me for it. So to recap, I said that shotguns and single shot weapons are going to be the most powerful in the game. Turns out I was right. I said that Nightfall is not the highest DPS even pre-nerf and Plasma Cutter can beat it. Turns out I was right. Then I had people telling me that Hunter Gunslinger is basically just the best setup in the game, period, doesn't matter what you're running. Yeah, I'm not going to act surprised in the slightest. It also turns out that if you like running any of these three, Hotshot, Corrosive Rounds or Overflow, your best bet is to have Archon somewhere in your build. Archon Hunter, Archon Gunslinger. The difference is negligible, but both will absolutely take the living piss out of Hunter Gunslinger. Especially if you're using Corrosive Rounds along with Archon and Momentum. This combination is actually pretty damn stupid. Between just these three items we get 55 crit chance, 30 crit damage and 50 damage. In terms of just single perspective, so Archon versus Gunslinger or Archon versus Hunter, this will actually outperform basically anything you can also add onto them other than Archon. Essentially meaning Archon on Gunslinger or Archon on Hunter is going to be more powerful than Hugs if you are using any of these three mods, which I would highly recommend because they are actually very damn powerful. Then I have people complaining that I don't put out build videos, and therefore, because I don't put out build videos, I'm a bad content creator. I don't like doing build videos because any idiot can do a friggin' build video. And to be perfectly honest, when it comes to build videos, the only builds you should really be paying attention to are those that are doing Apocalypse. And even then, as I previously stated in a very old Remnant from the Ashes video, your build actually has very little to do with it. It's all going to be about your player skill and understanding weird little intricacies of each individual boss, like the Huntress here. If you stand on her left shoulder, she does nothing. She will stand there and take the beating. How many people knew this? At this point, it does not matter what build I have. I just stand on her left shoulder and I can kill her. She'll run away. I have to clear ads, which is beyond easy regardless of what build you have. I literally have like a stupid joke shield build where everything I do generates a shield. I shoot something, I get a shield. I run around a bit, I get a shield. I take damage, I get a shield. While I have a shield, I heal for an absolutely stupid amount of health. Other than that, this is not a very good build. It can work on Apocalypse. It will take literally a month to do anything, especially if you are doing some of the more interesting bosses, if they have Regenerator, because it will literally take about an hour to kill anything. But in terms of dealing with bosses, it's going to be more knowledge than it is build. Here we go again. On her left shoulder. She freaks out. I don't know why. This is just how it works. I could do this all day. I could do it quicker by doing a melee build. I could do it slower by literally just taking off everything. The overall effect of my build here has nothing to do with it. It's the knowledge that I have and that I wish to impart in my videos that is going to make the difference in the overall effect of you or anyone playing on Apocalypse. Of course, I will dabble in build videos, however, that is not going to be my main goal. My main goal is going to be explaining things like why Ravager's Mark is at best mediocre, simply just because things like Abrasive Whetstone exist. Revisiting the biggest trap in the bloody game, and what is quickly shaping up to be one of the most powerful friggin' items ever. Though if you are really wanting the meta, then you best get comfortable running around naked, simply just because not much is actually capable of beating this damn thing. And finally on this list is going to be things like why players that have a higher skill level than you are always going to be just that much more powerful. It's okay though, I'm a bad content creator because I don't make builds or do build videos. Now, just to finish this off, we're going to go a bit lighter, on a lighter note, and we're just going to finish off the Huntress by utilising her weird left shoulder thing. The reason for this is all of her attacks come from her right hand side or directly in front of her. So as long as you stay away from her right or directly in front, you are able to completely and utterly abuse her. If you stand in front of her, you will either get the ram or the spear, and if you go to her right hand side, she will most likely triple attack you with her spear. Neither of these are particularly difficult to deal with or to dodge. However, if you just stick to her left hand shoulder and just spam her, it is an easy boss. The biggest difficulty here is going to be other random ads that just feel the need to get involved. However, one of the main reasons I like using a shield build here is simply just because while I have that shield up, while spamming melee attacks, it's not that difficult to actually keep myself alive. Every melee hit I do actually generates a shield, which is going to help me, 1, mitigate a lot of incoming damage, simply because they need to get through my shield before they get to my health. 2, while the shield is active, I have another 10% crit chance and 15% to all damage, which is going to be very handy. I'm using Challenger because of where I'm in very close proximity. I'm able to get another 35% damage and another 10% crit chance on literally everything. And I'm going to utilise Engineer simply for the turret, which allows for 1, a good amount of AoE, 2, helps supplement the damage that I am lacking due to the fact that everything is spec'd into having a friggin' shield, as well as also helps keep some of the adds off me, because it does generate aggro, not a lot, but it can generate some aggro, and due to the very large AoE effect of it, it can also help clear those adds while I just focus on the boss. Due to the Huntress moving around in a very slow circle, she also does body block a lot of the add hits, whether it be their shots, thrown axes, or the fire grenades. You might have noticed she's been on fire a few times. I do 0 fire on this build. It is simply just due to she's taking hits from her own adds, as well as where we're able to slowly move around in a circle, we can activate mods and skills to help supplement our damage as we go along. Now, I am just going to show the build. Like I said, Challenger, I am using Rampage. However, this does have nothing to do with melee. So yeah, it's only going to affect Crescent Moon with Supercharger. Engineer along with the heavy weapon impact cannon. For the amulet, we're running Energy Diverter. For the shield crit chance and damage. Generating Band, while we have a shield, we get 3% of our maxed health per second. Ring of Crisis, when we hit 25% health, we get 25% shield. And Tightly Wound Coil, spending 75% or more of the current magazine gives a shield for 10% of our health. We only have 1 round in the mag, so literally just shooting gives us a shield. And finally, we have Rerouting Coil, which means just dodging, running, anything can give us a shield up to a maximum of 50% shield. This is going to help us stay alive in those tricky situations. Literally just go for a run. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.